Okay, I got 6 bolts around the perimeter right now. We got 2 back here, one in this wall, one in this wall, one over here, one over there, and one right there, and one right there. So still have a couple more to put in, but I feel comfortable with that for right now to actually be able to pick this thing up and put it in position. So, moment of truth. So I'm going to take this pallet jack. We're going to slide this in underneath. I'm going to have to raise the jacks up a little bit because I'm off by like maybe 3/4 of an inch. I believe I can raise up the tank and stand, slide the pallet jack underneath, and then start to maneuver this thing into position. Okay, so the jacks have already paid off. I took the crescent wrench and I extended the ones over here on the right hand side up just enough to get the pallet jack completely underneath. Same with the ones on the left. So the pallet jack is like 98% of the way in. For some reason it's just not completely going through right here. Probably because the concrete is not level. So I'm going to attempt to raise this up just a hair. I'm going to slide these boards underneath real quick and then lower the pallet jack back down and then take another swing at this and get fully up underneath. Should work. Next step is to paint the wall so we can put the tank nice and close. So primer and paint.
Hello, I'm Bob Ross, and I'd like to welcome you to Series 31 of The Joy of Painting. If this is your first time with us, allow me to extend a personal invitation for you to drag out your paints and your brushes and paint along with us each show. And if you've been with us before, please allow me to thank you for inviting us back for another series of painting shows.
The problem here is somebody glued in. These are the return pipes. We've got an OD of 3.5. We've got an ID of 2 7/8. The problem is these pipes are glued in, but when I got this tank from New York, as you can see, they only left about a 1/2 inch of real estate, which is definitely not enough to glue on a coupling. So what I'm forced to do today is take a pencil grinder and actually grind this out. I will actually take the pipe completely apart and destroy it with this pencil grinder to get back to the bulkhead that, if you actually look very close, somebody actually carved out the acrylic to put the nut, the jam nut, in there. So this is definitely not coming out. So I'm forced to grind out the pipe with the pencil grinder, and then if you do it just right, you can actually glue in the new pipe. So these would be the return lines. That'll take us down to the filtration system. So what I need to do is I need to put on a pair of 90s. You know, I'll put a, you know, small nipple.
That's a pretty big word for a man whore.
I'm not a man whore. I'm a fish enthusiast. I stopped man whoring when I met my wife.
My mom said your wife got eaten on your honeymoon because you tried to feed the sharks.
You tell your mom I was trying to feed the turtles. I didn't realize there was meat sauce on the lettuce.
On each one, glue it in, maybe 2-3 inches in length. Put the 90s on, come straight down, and then from here, we'll tap into the sump filtration system, probably coming off the manifold, but these will be the return lines. But obviously step one is to grind these out. So this is going to get real ugly. Here we go. Okay guys, I painted the wall last night. It's all primered, looking good. Probably going to paint the one section blue tonight and get that area completely ready. But now it's time to move on to the return lines. Let me bring you over here and show you this. So as I showed you before in a couple other videos, whoever had the tank before me, they used 3-inch bulkheads. And if you remember, I cleaned all this out because they had the pipe coming out of it, and I took an air tool and ground out that pipe so that I could go ahead and, you know, kind of start over. So that's done. But the reason I got to get this done now is because I need to move the tank back into position right over here against the wall. So I'm kind of forced to do this part first. So they've used 3-inch bulkheads. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring, I was going to go straight down, but now I've changed my mind. I want to go horizontal and bring the pipes over here. So what I've got is I've laid it on the ground just to kind of give you an example of what I'm going to do. Obviously over here is the tank. The pipes will go to the right, they're going to come down, but I need to convert this from 3-inch down to 2-inch. So we'll step it down with this 3 to 2, and then we're going to go right into the valves, and then from the valves right into the 2 check valves, and then 2 more 90s. Now it's imperative that I put the valves before the check valves so that I have the ability to literally shut both of these off if in the event I need to get into the check valves. Now I did some quick measuring because obviously you got inside dimensions and outside dimensions, and the inside dimensions of this tank is 92.25 by 43. But the big takeaway here is, let me bring it back over here, is that if there's a power outage, that water will drain, or could drain, 11 inches. So by having the check valves and those doing their job and slam and close.
What is that?
Careful. That is 4 years of research. A technological breakthrough which might just save a life or two.
And obviously, you want to make sure you put these in the right way. You see that little flapper inside there? You want that thing to slam close when the water stops. you got it this way, obviously it's not going to work. So by putting in those 2 check valves, believe it or not, 1,000-gallon tank, 11 inches down, I grabbed the calculator, I ran the numbers, and believe it or not, it's 188 gallons from the bottom of the coast-to-coast overflow box right there. You can kind of see the fingers. Water would drain down there, obviously 4.5 inches down, and it would go all the way and keep going all the way to here, going backwards. And that's 188 gallons of water. I'm not for sure what sump I'm using yet or how I'm going to be doing the filtration system, but I do know 188 gallons going the wrong direction is not good. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and put all this together, and it should make a little bit more sense once it's installed. So today is kind of a big day. Today we're actually gluing in the 4-inch nipple pipe. This is the one I cleaned out a couple weeks ago, but now I'll put the brand new one in. These are the 3-inch bulkheads for the 1,000-gallon tank. So, I'm not for sure how you guys do this, but for me, obviously the PVC cleaner, glue, and in this case, I've measured back 2 inches. You can see that mark right there in the middle. So when I push this in, I know that this pipe is fully engaged into the bulkhead. So I thoroughly clean the PVC pipe with the glue, with the cleaner, and then at the same time, I clean this for a good minute, getting anything off this thing. And then obviously, I glue it, this inside diameter, and at the same time I will glue or put glue on the outside diameter of this. This is, for me, this is a crucial glue, because once these are in and I put the 90s on and everything starts working from left to right and I push this tank up against the wall, that's it. I won't be able to get back to this particular area. And these are the return lines, and these are going to be fed from that 6,000 gallons per hour, that Hammerhead Gold. So I'm getting ready to glue this second 90 on this 3-inch pipe. It needs to be perpendicular to the first one. One of the little tricks I like to do to make it so that it's absolutely perfect is actually to stick another 90 on. Could be a T, could be a coupling, but it's got to have this ridge right here, because this one and this one obviously are identical. Same with this one and that one. So I've got the level over here. I know I'm level. I put the level back here so that it's level here. And I put the level way over here, and I know it's level this way. So by checking all three areas, and obviously double checking it right here, I know now that that 93 inch is completely perpendicular to that 93 inch, and then you just mark the top of the pipe so that when you clean it and glue it, you can bring the two right back together. Works perfect. Okay guys, just a quick update here. I've actually marked the floor. We're going to be 10 feet from the front of the 720 to the front of the 1000. I think what the game plan is, this is going to be the new doorway, which is going to be back on the back wall of the tank. And then I'm going to frame all this in. So obviously you're going to have the 2x4, 3.5 inches wide, and then obviously drywall on both sides, so 4.5 inches. So the tank's going to kind of look like it's built right into the wall. So I've marked the floor, but at the same time I've marked the wall. I want the lower portion to stay white to give more light for the filtration system, but at the top portion I'm going to paint this portion blue so that when I'm looking on the end of the tank I don't see the wall. At the same token, yesterday I've got the two 3-inch pipes. You saw me putting that together. I'm going to paint those blue also, so they kind of blend in a little bit with the wall. So let's see how this works out.